Namaste, welcome. And all right, this is our Monday yoga practice. We're going to start off, you can be on the mat or not. You can have your socks on or not as we get started. Sort of gauging. If you tend to be cold, then keep your layers on until we start. So thanks for being here. Let's start off. We can place our hands just onto our upper chest, perhaps one hand on top of the other across your heart space, if that feels comfortable. And then taking a moment to really arrive together. And the two techniques that we use in our practice, and then we can start to use throughout our day, are gratitude and breath. So here with your hands over your heart, remember something today that you are grateful for. Perhaps there was something that you saw, maybe a song that you danced to, perhaps a conversation you had. Let's bring about a feeling of gratitude here. Creating the habit of cultivating gratitude more and more often so that we can reside in that vibration. Can choose our focus, we can direct our attention to bring about this feeling of gratitude. Just a couple more breaths, just really celebrating, enjoying, being happy for, happy about, grateful for. Something from your day today. And then let your arms go ahead and relax down by your sides. And with your arms down by your sides, take your feet just a little wider and just a little softness through your knees. So we don't need to be completely locked out through our knees, just a little softness through your knees. And please inhale in through your nose. And then exhale either through your nose or through your mouth. Good. Again, invite an inhale. Awareness of that breath flowing in through your nose. And then again, exhale. One more time, inhale. And exhale. So just that feeling of gratitude and 3 breaths. We've already shifted our energy, shifted our focus. Let's add a little more emphasis to our breath. So first, again, your feet are very mindfully placed, nice distance apart, maybe not too wide nor too close. And then with that softness through your knees, let this give you even more awareness through your legs and out down through your feet. So we are going to cultivate a sense of our strength and a sense of the power at our center. So let's use our hands to find an emphasis of our breath with an exhale. So we'll place our hands and just pressing them down as you exhale. So that softness through your knees. And you might just let that sound come out, a ha sound. As if you're rooting all the way down through your legs into the earth. And just continue it at a pace that's comfortable for you. So we're just exhaling, letting that sound move all the way down as if we're, again, clearing from the pelvis, from the legs, all the way out through the feet. A couple more times. We really want to sense and feel the earth. One more time. Let's exhale, just pushing everything out and down, releasing into the earth. Good. All right. And taking a moment now with your knees still soft, and we will bounce. Just going to start a little bounce. So just bouncing here. And this is more of a Qigong or Tai Chi. So soft in the space of your knees. Good. So just starting that bounce. And then let's go ahead and let's add in a little shake out. Just a little bit of a shake. Just a little bit with your arms. We'll keep bouncing here. So you might let that sound. So what we're doing here is we're clearing out. So any rivers that feel a little stagnant, any areas in our body that might have some blocks in that natural flow of our energy, just gonna bounce it out. Go ahead. A couple more times. I'm just going to give that bounce, 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 bounce. Nice. And then start to slow it down. And as you slow it down, we're going to take a moment just to pause, again, gently coming to a point of stillness. Now here, your eyes could be open or closed, and just take a moment to notice. Really feeling the invitation for your energy to flow. Good. Now let's continue with this. We're clearing the rivers, we're clearing our energy channels. Now with that same bend, softness through your knees, begin to twist. Now here your arms may come in contact with your body, and the power of our breath again might be an ah sound, might be a ha sound. If it's comfortable for you, you can include sound. If it's not, you can leave it out. Again, always invitational. Here you might be swinging in a way where your arms come in contact with your body. Maybe you're touching the point of your kidneys, your hips, clearing the space even around your liver. Again, just letting this be that nice jump start to the release of any stagnant energy. And bend your arms a little more if that's feeling all right in your body. Getting a bit more of that contact even farther up. You could experiment with bending so your arms come up towards your upper chest or shoulders. Again, just opening the rivers, opening the channels, really letting the essence of you flow. Then we can let the arms come lower again around the abdomen, back, the hips, eventually slowing it down again. And again, we'll take a moment as we slow it down, coming back, just to pause in stillness, maybe an extra emphasis of your breath. And here again, one hand on top of the other, softness in your knees, one hand on the other, just noticing with that, your heart rate may have begun to increase. And just allowing for that feeling of aliveness, that feeling of energy moving. Notice if there's anything that your heart wants you to know. Energy is moving and flowing, getting anything unstuck. All right, and let's move some more energy here. Here, as you open your eyes, if they were closed, we'll do a little bounce again, but this time let's add in more of a shake. So we're gonna shake out through our hands, shaking out through our arms, shaking out through our legs. So as we are encountering the events of our day, these things that are difficult, challenging to process, we want to give the energy a channel to flow out. So shake it out through your legs, through your feet, balancing on one at a time. Yeah, and let all of that energy that was perhaps stored in the trunk of your body and your torso, just let it flow out through your arms and through your legs. You might mindfully turn your head Just clearing that energy out. And just a little bit more with that shake, 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 shake. Shake your hips a bit if that feels okay. Just shake it off, shake it off, shake it out, shake it out. Good. And let all of that be released. And then again, you can slow it down and just coming back to a point of stillness. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Now, noticing here, notice your ability, your capacity to shift energy. Notice your capacity to release and let go. So when we have these various things, impressions that come into our system, we can help our bodies to process it and release it and let it go. We don't have to hold it all in. And it doesn't serve us and it doesn't serve the world. Now, if you have a wall close by or a door, we're going to move over to a wall. Now, I may, if I'm on my sticky mat, I can press against it. So essentially, you're going to put your hands onto the wall. So I'll turn sideways as if my wall's over here, so I'm not just with my back to you. You put your hands on your wall and you'll just step one leg back. You're going to stretch one leg back. And then you'll stretch the other leg back. Now take your time. With your hands pressing onto the wall, you really want to push. So one of the main energies that we're going for here is that sense of power. So feeling here the contact point. So we shook that energy out through our arms and legs. And now with your hands pressing into the wall, your arms might be straight or a little bend. See what works for you. And as you're pressing your feet and your hands into the earth and into the wall, just feeling how this gives you that sense of where you are in space. That sense of your center, your energy. Good. Now, if you're doing one leg at a time, you can switch it whenever you'd like. And again, just that really solid contact of your hands pressing the wall, feeling your feet in contact with the floor. Maybe you have a little bend of both knees, just pushing into the earth, pushing into the wall. That solid, solid, solid contact. And then slowly release. And just taking a moment, coming to standing, just to breathe and feel. So again, when we have that sense of intensity, having the ability to know that you can move energy, you can shift energy. So you release it from your core out. And then by having those contact points of your hands on the wall and your hands or your feet on the floor, just that sense of being able to have that fierce compassion, that fierce presence. Good. So just noticing how you feel. Pause and breathe and feel. Oftentimes eyes closed helps you feel better. When our eyes are open, we think the answer is somewhere out there. When our eyes are closed, it lets us tune in and really tap into that essence at our center. When we come from that place, we have a great sense of clarity and also a great sense of care, because it is that space of the heart that we're tapping into. All right, so one more here. And this one I may need to take my socks off, but I have my sticky mat. We'll do a wall sit. So a wall sit isn't so much that we're trying to strengthen our legs, although you'll feel that. So you'll bend your knees coming down. Now you might come down pretty far, depending. Just make sure you don't slide your feet out, and then let your back press into the wall. Your feet are pressing into the earth, and you're breathing here. So again, it's about those points of contact. Feel where you are in contact with the wall. Feel where you are in contact with the floor. Notice the strength in your legs. Your muscles are working here. Really feeling that sense of aliveness again. Good. Keep going. Your legs might even be shaking a little bit. I know my thighs are starting to really feel this. Staying with it. A couple more breaths here. Good. And then very slowly, might even use your hands to press up off of the wall, coming up to standing And again, it may be you place one hand on top of your heart and the other hand on top of the first. Close your eyes if that's safe for you. And breathe and feel. Sensing and feeling the empowerment in your body, this strength, this capacity to move energy, and also your capacity and your ability to go into your heart center, really tuning into that space. Good. All right. And now we will come down to our yoga mat. So however you would like to arrive, come to a seated position. In your seated position, however it is, you might sit on a bolster, you could sit on a chair, whatever feels good for you. Nice. And just a moment, again, just really acknowledging the awareness that you have of your capacity to shift. This is very helpful in our challenging times to have these superpowers, to be able to be exposed to things and not have them stick in us, right? So you could think of it like how we notice that deer, when they're startled, they shake it off and then they carry on. So really tapping into our own ability to find the ways to clear out energy so it's not stuck. Good. Very nice. Now, I'll invite you to rub your palms together. Rubbing, 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 breathing, rubbing here. Your arms are an extension of your heart. So your arms, your hands are the action of your heart. So as we find the ways to clear ourselves and come into our own central channel, our own center, our heart space, then we are creating and moving from there. So let's take this energy that is going from your heart down your arms, through your hands, that compassion flowing, and turn it towards yourself. So here, place your palms over your face, whether you're touching or not. You might notice the subtle energy body, perhaps you don't even touch, and you can feel that energy. And then let's go ahead and give a little of our massage, running fingers from the center of the forehead out towards the sides, out towards the temples. Inhaling and exhaling slowly, gentle. And then massaging down, you might circle around your temples, could massage across your cheeks, around your cheekbones, along your jaw. Good. So maybe you've started to incorporate more of this self-massage into your regular schedule. It can be a really nice reset. A little bit of love on the ears if you're right there and you can't resist. And then we can take the massage across the space of the throat. And then even out from shoulders, down our arms. So shoulders, down our arms. And then maybe just the self-havening again of this shoulder to elbow. It might be slow, maybe there's not even, you could just do one side at a time, whatever feels right for your shoulders. And again, if your eyes are still closed, you might just notice again, sense and feel that sense of comfort, that sense of ease. So when we find the way to get ourselves to this place where we feel resourced, where we feel connected, again, then we are extending and sharing that energy out so that when we do share ourselves or interact with the world. It's from that very connected place. Again, with great compassion and intentionality. Also, that same ferocity that we tapped into by pressing into the wall. So we can be ferocious and kind, coming from that space of our heart, but we don't have to hold it all in. Good. All right. When you're ready, let your hands rest on your legs, palms up or down, wherever's comfortable for you. And again, if it feels right for you to have your eyes closed, we'll just take a 10 breath meditation here. So you might just give an exhale or even a sigh just to shift. And then without trying to change the pace of your breath, observe, just notice your next 10 breaths. Now, as your 10 breaths are complete, we'll take a transition from our seated pose onto hands and knees. So as you move into your physical practice now, we'll do some of our usual poses. Notice that space and energy of moving from your heart. Having this warm-up space of really plugging in, tapping into the awareness at heart center. And then also the mindfulness. So with tabletop position, we're on our hands and knees. You can also do this spinal movement in a seated position. But if you're exploring from here with your inhalation, lift your sitting bones and lift your chin. And then as you exhale, round your spine. Press your spine towards the sky and release your head down between your arms. And continue moving with your breath here. Inhaling belly towards the earth. And exhaling back of your spine, pressing up towards the sky. Again, you might close your eyes and you could even visualize, if you would like, you could visualize the movement of your spine. Even taking your awareness into the space of your central column. As you move a few more times, perhaps set the intention to do this cat and cow every day. Maybe for 1 minute. As you arrive back to table, move into child's pose. your knees will move back or your hips move back towards your heels. You might take your knees a little wider. And as you shift back, perhaps lowering to your elbows, or you might reach out through your arms, rest your head and your arms onto the earth. Now, staying in the pose, start to walk your hands a little bit over to the left side, maybe even off of your yoga mat. Stretching along your right side body, keep your shoulders relaxed and stay really threaded. Keep your awareness fully on your breath. And then begin to walk your hands over to the other side, walking your hands perhaps even off of your yoga mat. And then coming back to center, come up onto hands and knees again in your tabletop. And then walk your hands all the way back so that you are up on your knees in a kneeling position. If you would like a little more cushioning, you could put a blanket under your knees. And you might shift your hips a little side to side. And then hands onto your hips, if that feels all right. Slide your hands back as if you're sliding your hands into back pockets. So palms facing towards your low back, fingers down towards the earth. And then a little bit of an engagement through your belly here. So it helps you to lift up through your spine. Draw your elbows back any amount as you lift up into your heart and relax the sides of your neck, relax your jaw. Tall through the crown of your head. Good. And now hands onto your hips again. I'm going to turn to face towards you. Let's extend our right leg out to the right. So shift your right leg out to the side. Good. And then right hand coming down to your right leg. Lift your left arm all the way up. Inhale deeply here. And then exhale, hinging over, leaning over to your right side. Now you might put your fingertips onto your shoulder or even your fingertips behind your left ear. Good. If you are reaching your top arm up and over, you might experiment even a little softening of your elbow or a nice active reach. Good. We can also get a really big stretch by stretching straight up on the left side. All right, float your arm back down, scoot your right knee in, and we'll shift to the second side, left leg out to the side. Left hand down your left leg. With an inhale, let your right arm reach up. And then beginning perhaps here to hinge over towards your left side. So here again, depending for your shoulder, it might make more sense for your mechanics of you to have your hand on your shoulder or your ear. You might be reaching through that top arm over or even a little bend of your elbow. Experiment. It will feel different on different days. But an opening up through the side body helps us to clear, again, some of the perhaps stuck or stagnant energy of winter. Now let's reach up Putting that arm up and then down by our sides. Very nice. Hop your knee back in. We'll come back onto hands and knees and move through your cat and cow again here. Let's do about 5 times. Inhaling deeply, belly towards the earth, tail up, chin up. Exhale completely. Tilt your sitting bones towards the floor. Press your spine towards the sky and release your head. Keep going with your breath. Keeping your spine flexible, supple. Very good. Back at center, bring your right foot forward. So you'll shift your right foot up, maybe between your hands. And then your back knee could have maybe a blanket under it, or even folding up the yoga mat a couple of times. Now, it might be that you fit better having your hands inside of that right leg. Sometimes having our chest on that leg might feel a little crowded. We're here for about 5 more breaths. So see about letting the pose open the front of your left thigh. So with your back knee on the ground, it might feel stable to have your toes tucked under. Sometimes that holds the knee a little better. As you're melting your hips forward, check to see if it feels good to have your head hang. You might be getting a nice stretch on the back of your neck. But you might see about keeping your gaze a little bit in front of your yoga mat, so that instead of our cell phone head position of being forward, we're lifting our chin slightly here. Now, if you had a lot of time sitting today, you might be feeling a lot of pull on the front of that back leg. Now, shift your weight back a bit here so that you can mindfully bring your right leg back. You're in your table again here. Shift your hips a bit side to side. If downward dog is in your practice, you might find a downward dog between sides. Tuck your toes and lift your knees. Stretch your hips to the sky. Downward facing dog, pressing into your hands. Lifting up out of your shoulders. And then as we move to our second side, bring your knees down to the mat. Step your left foot forward. So if I don't move my right knee back, I'm kind of up and down on that leg. So instead of having the leg be straight up, I might be able to tuck my right toes and move that right knee a little farther back. Now you'll feel as that pulls open the front of your right hip, your right thigh, and maybe both hands inside of your left foot. Either way. And then as you're moving your hips forward, gazing just out in front of your yoga mat so that your head and neck are lifted. Again, in the pose, it's a lot like our developing of new habits. It's slow and steady, small things done over time. So about 5 breaths, and we really start to invite that sustainable release and opening. And then when you're ready, you can shift your weight back again so that it feels balanced when you bring your left leg back to your tabletop position. Again, here you could do cat and cow, or maybe another downward facing dog. See what feels right in your body. Inviting you into downward dog if that feels good for you today. About 3 to 5 breaths. And when you are ready, lower your knees down to the mat and shift your body around onto your seat. As you shift around to your seat, let's come all the way down onto our backs. Now you might reach a little forward as you slowly lower, gradually coming down, and then stretch your whole body out long. Extend out through your legs, reach up through your arms. Move your wrists and your ankles, your fingers and your toes. And when you're ready, bend both of your knees, plant your feet onto the mat. Bring your arms out at shoulder height if that feels right for your shoulders. And see about turning the palms of your hands open. Now, with your feet a little wider apart on your mat, keep your knees bent and begin your windshield wiper motion here. So taking your legs from side to side and turn your head in the opposite direction. Really threaded to your breath. Full awareness, full attention of your breath, inhaling and exhaling, so that your practice is a moving meditation. When you feel evened out from side to side, gather both of your knees in towards your chest and give your legs a hug. And here you might rock your body a little from side to side. Stay focused on your breath. Even a little more of an exhale might be nice here. And with your hands remaining on your knees, have your arms in a straight position. Hands are on your knees. Inhale deeply here. And as you begin to exhale, bend your arms so your thighs begin to hug in towards your belly. And continue with this motion. Inhale as your arms straighten, hands stay on your knees. And as you exhale, bend your arms, feel as your thighs gently make contact with your lower abdomen. A few more times, keeping your shoulders relaxed as you move. All right. Bring your feet back down to the mat. Reach your right leg up to the sky, circle out through your right ankle, twirling it a few times one way and a few times the other way. And here, invitation to cross your ankle over your left knee. with your right ankle crossed over. Maybe you have already a bit of a stretch happening on your right thigh or hip. If you are still close to a wall, you could put your left foot, press it into a wall. Maybe you take a bind by reaching your right hand between and your left hand around and holding on to your left thigh. Now, as we stay here, scan through your body. Let your shoulders be as relaxed as possible. Soften your jaw and your tongue. And then remaining with your breath awareness, staying as you observe your next 5 rounds of breath. Your left foot either on the floor, on a wall, or perhaps you're in this thread the needle position. When your 5 breaths are complete, release your feet back down. You might stretch your legs all the way out long. You could even reach up through your arms, again releasing the energy from your core, even from your hips, out through your limbs, maybe even out through one of those really cleansing exhalations. As we set up for the second side, bend your knees, feet onto the mat, stretch your left leg up to the sky and circle your left ankle. Circle the other direction. And when you're ready, cross your left ankle over your right. Now again, here, there may already be a lot of a stretch happening. Be very mindful of how your knees feel. Maybe this is our optimal stretch on this side. Again, you could use props. You could put your right foot up onto a yoga block, maybe onto a wall. Or you could thread the needle on this side and take a hold of your right thigh. Now, first we scan through. So just taking a moment to notice the space of your shoulders, your jaw, your tongue, your eyes. Really release any over efforting, any holding, release that into the support of the earth. And now we will begin our 5 rounds of breath. So without speeding up or changing your breath, just observing. And then as you are ready, again, release. Legs out long, arms overhead for a big stretch. And this time, keep your left leg extended out and bend your right knee. Bring your leg, your right knee, right into your chest. So here you might hold behind your thigh or in front of your shin. You can move a little here just to shift. Do you feel settled in your back body? And then let's give a nice hug with shoulders relaxed. Lift your heart. Drop your shoulders again. And now we will twist. Right arm open to the floor. Left hand guiding your leg across your body. Reaching open through your right arm. Full even breaths here. Gently guide yourself back to center. And switching sides, let your right leg extend out long. Bring your left knee in towards your chest. And again, either hold behind your thigh or in front of your shin. A little rocking here just to settle into your back body. And then direct compression for a few moments, shoulders relaxed as possible. Biceps working. Nice compression into your left hip. Perhaps as you're breathing, you may even feel your thigh and your belly in contact. With our twist on this side, left arm opens to the floor. Use your right hand to guide your leg across the midline of your body. And 3 full breaths in your twist. Coming back through the middle, you might stretch that leg out first, and then if you would like to do a happy baby pose, it can be a nice finishing posture as you bring your legs in towards your chest. Option here, having your knees a little bit wider, a little rocking or shifting of your hips. Another variation. With your knees still bent, aim your feet for the sky, holding the edges of your feet. Again, with all of the variations, tune into what feels right for you today. Different weather, different energy, different body. See what feels most aligned for you. And as you release that posture, it could feel good to do one more squeeze, wrapping your arms around your legs. And with an exhale, curl into a little ball. And relax your head and shoulders back down to the mat. Release your feet. Let's take a moment with our knees still bent, resting your hands either onto your lower abdomen or perhaps one hand towards your heart and one hand towards your belly. And just a few more rounds of breath here with your knees bent. In this reclined position, this is a very nice neutral position. Good exercise for your low back. Now, when we move to our final posture, you could decide to stay with your knees bent, or you could opt to take your legs out long. So see which one feels best for your body. Sometimes the low back may really enjoy keeping your knees bent. If you are extending your legs out, shift your heels out towards the corners of your mat. Maybe you have taken a liking to heel rocks. You could flex your feet and press your heels into your sticky mat and then flex and point a few times, giving that bouncing action through the body, again, as a means of release, releasing so that the rivers and the channels your energy body, all of your systems can be open. And then as we move towards stillness, arms into any comfortable position, eyes can close, and perhaps an exhale with a sigh to really surrender into stillness. Signaling to your body mind that there's nothing else to do. But here, the practice is to come into stillness and release any holding, any gripping. Scanning from the crown of your head to the tips of your toes. Inviting your whole body to release, relax, let go. As you find your whole body completely relaxed, bring your awareness to your breath and begin to slowly initiate movement in your fingers and your toes. And invite your head to turn gently side to side. Take your time. As you roll to your right side, you might use your arm as a pillow, resting on your side for a few rounds of breath. And then press into your hands and come up to a seated position once again. Eyes can be open or closed. You might choose to sit upon a blanket or a cushion. And with an inhale, let's reach our arms out to the sides, all the way up to the sky. Join your palms together at the top and bring your hands to the space in front of your heart, with your palms touching here in front of your heart. And find 3 full breaths, exhaling with the sound. So really letting the vibration move through. Thank you so much for your practice, for taking the time, coming to the mat, really cultivating this strength of being at your center. The light in me bows to the light in you. Peace be with you, friends. Carry this compassion off of the mat and into the world. Namaste. So again, if you are interested in joining for